This is the weekend edition, and I have a special guest with us today. My name's D7. This video is good through Sunday, April 9th, 2017. And our special guest is Keisha Robinson. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad I'm here.
She is my personal assistant learning how to trade. And I just called her in to say, hey, I'm going to do this video. Sit chairside with me here. And I don't know.
I'm here. You do what the boss says.
All right. So here we are. Markets on Friday. Down. US dollar higher. Crude oil higher. Gold higher, but silver down quite a bit. VIX higher by nearly 4% on Friday. We're going to be looking at daily charts and weekly charts. Now, Keisha, when we look at the charts, we want to start with the S&P 500. The reason we start with this one?
Because it's the big boys and you want to see what they're doing.
Big boys, you want to see what they're doing. The diamonds, they only have 30 stocks in them. Says it's not as good to look at this, not great as a barometer. Nasdaq, any idea why the Nasdaq is not a great barometer for the broad markets?
No, I don't.
65% of the Nasdaq is made up of technology type stocks, so it's bias. It's not a good sampling. Russell's 2000 or the Russell's 3000, small cap stocks, it's a volume issue there. But the S&P 500, in this case we're looking at the SPDR, which is the ETF, is a great barometer of the markets as a whole. That's why we look at that. A lot of people in the news, talking heads, will say the Dow did X today, the Nasdaq did Y today. The real savvy news outlets out there will tell us what the S&P did today, because savvy investors and traders, we want to know this because it gives us a good unbiased idea on what the markets are doing. Okay, we're looking at a daily chart here, and you can see down here, Keisha, this is the beginning of 2017. It goes to February or January, February, and we're into April right now, and that's what we're looking at. So guys, if you look here, we got two trend lines, the two blue trend lines going higher here. The problem is price action is on the floor. And Keisha, as you see that the price, when you stay at the lower area, this floor, it has a better chance of dropping than going higher.
Correct.
So anything can happen though, but this red trend line here, it gives us a pinching pattern, and that is called what type of formation?
Symmetrical triangle.
Symmetrical triangle. That's very good. Symmetrical triangles. Do they go higher or lower, or can they go both directions?
Both directions.
A plus. Nice. All right. The diamonds. Diamonds I'm not liking as much because we're at this support level. You'll notice on Friday we closed below it. So we closed below this trend line. So that is a break in support. So this could be problematic for the markets. If we look here at the Nasdaq, the same thing has happened on the Nasdaq. Thursday we broke down. Friday we stayed below this area. It's no good. So you can see the rising wedge type pattern, and we're starting to show some weakness here. If you go to small caps, we're in what type of triangle?
Symmetrical triangle.
Symmetrical triangle yet again. And do you see the moving averages here? Those lines? They're above price action. So that's more resistance or more bearish than it is bullish. What's the difference from bullish and bearish?
Bullish, you're buying and going up. Bearish, you're sitting down and squatting on the bottom.
Right. Well, I look at it as bullish means you're a bull throws the matador up in the air, and the bear pins you down to the ground to eat you.
Okay,
right.
Great. Love the analogy.
All right. Banks, again, symmetrical triangle and a pinching pattern. Financials. Same thing, big symmetrical triangle, but we're flirting with death. We're flirting like we're wanting to head down here. The US dollar is up and away, and I called it a buy back here on February 30th. If you look down here, Keisha, you can see, do you see the date, how it pops up down here?
Yes.
Well, if I hover over this arrow, you can see that date down there. That was March 30th, 2017. Well, I put a buy on that for US dollar, and look how we've gone up higher, higher, higher. I put a sell back here on this date, which was March 15th. And that's what those are. If I call a call, I put a arrow on it and hope that I'm right. Crude oil, same thing. Had a buy on this back on March 29th, and it's gone higher, 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 higher. Gold had a sell off. That we had a pop up and a sell off. We're above a resistance line, but this is not good news. See the big volume here, Keisha?
Yes.
Anytime you get a big red candlestick with big volume, that's usually indicative of a lot of sellers coming in. That could spell trouble going into the future. I'm not going to put a sell on this right now because we're above this trend line. I'm going to keep it. However, different ball game here on the silver. Called it a buyback here on March 15th. We go higher, 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 higher. Today we gapped up on Friday, and then we sold off, and we came back up and closed right at this trend line. We had this trend line, guys. If you go back on the video forever, it's not by accident that we stopped there. We stopped there because there is a trend line there, and everybody knows it. But because of the huge red candlestick and the big volume at a high area, at a resistance point, I went ahead and put a sell on that. So bad news for silver going into the future. VIX daily, I called it a buy. That means fear. VIX is a fear indicator. So I said fear should increase on March 31st. And fear has increased. It has gone just higher, higher, higher. I want to look at one more set of stocks or charts. And this is the weekly charts. The weekly chart on the S&P 500 shows a rising
wedge.
An
uptrend.
Is that a bullish or bearish pattern?
Bullish.
It looks bullish, but a rising wedge is actually bearish.
It is bearish.
It is bearish. And this could get nasty and ugly and soon. We should this week we should have been a big bullish week because we went down, 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 down. We had a nice piercing pattern on this candlestick. We should have gone higher. We did not. We're staying right here at support. This could crash and burn on us. The diamonds, same thing. We should have popped on the diamonds. We did not do that, and we settled back down. People sold into that strength. Next week could be bad. Next week could be a bad week for us. Nasdaq up, 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 up. Had a buy on this back here January 2nd on the weekly, and we're near resistance. So every time we get near this resistance line, we dropped. We get here again, we dropped. We hit it again, dropped. Hit it again, we dropped. Here we get near it, started to drop. Got near it, started to drop. So what do you think should happen up here?
It would drop.
Chances are pretty good it's going to drop. Chances are pretty good it's going to drop. I want to get a trend line going here. Fairly parallel lines too. Yep. Okay, here's the Russell small cap. I have a buy on it back here, but this thing could turn into a sell. Could turn into a sell. We'll see. Big rising wedge. Huge rising wedge. Bearish divergence down here. Bad news. Banks. Called it a buy. Oh, I'm underwater on this one. Here's a trade that I'm underwater on. Or a pick. I had a pick to go higher here, and we have since shown a lot of weakness. And financials. Down, 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 down. Popped, but no follow through. We should have gone up. That was a thrusting pattern. It did not go higher. So again, the weekly charts, guys, could get bearish going into the future. A US dollar, I called it a buy and then a sell. Sell, 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 sell. Now that this happened, so I need to change my weekly to a buy. Boom. I see the US dollar going higher. It should put pressure on US stocks and commodities. Speaking of commodities, let's take a look at the weekly chart on oil. Oops, come on. I called it a buy last week. And look what happened this week. Boom. Nailed it. Nailed it. And if you go here to gold, called it a buyback here January 30th, and we're going higher, 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 but this could be a sell very soon. Silver popped up, looking nice, and we're above resistance. Let's just see what happens here. Let's see what happens. What do you think about all this?
Those are not easy charts to read right off the hand.
You're just getting started. Takes a little while.
It does.
I've been trading 19 years, and I've been doing these videos since 2004. So that puts me, 13 years doing videos, almost on a daily basis.
But I noticed that I haven't seen any of your indicators or your arrows for your buys or sells have been wrong yet.
A couple of them. If you do look, then I do.
But you're pretty good at what you're posting, so.
Yeah, knock on wood, it's been pretty good. The reason they're on here, I didn't used to do this, but I would make calls, and people in general have short memories, and because of that, they wouldn't remember the call that I made. Now, there's some of the followers that we have that are engineer types, and they'll write down everything that I say, on graph paper, or they'll do them in Excel spreadsheets. So they do document, and they can see it themselves. But I think it's easier for us if I actually put the arrows on. If I put the arrows on and say, here are the arrows, this is what I'm seeing right now based off of the technicals. It is you'll see that the picks are usually more right than they're wrong, and that's kind of the name of the game. So, guys, we got actually some big news coming up. You guys don't know this yet, but we are putting together some webinars, some educational webinars that we're going to be doing in the evenings on weeknights that you guys would be invited to. There's no charge to them, and we're really excited about them because they're packed full of great content, and you're going to learn a ton. Well, check this out, Keisha. That's Keisha right here. How do you feel seeing your face on the website?
Every time we open the website, you see my mug. Oh, that's great. I love it. It's 100% sarcasm.
We should shoot that again where it's not quite so bouncy, It's kind of bouncy a little bit. Put it on a tripod. Anyway, yeah, I think it looks good. All right. So, if you come up here, Trading Mentor, you'll actually speak with Keisha or Carolina about our mentorship. And she's my assistant, so don't expect to be sold anything. She'll just give you information about our online 3-day mentorships and the V newsletter. And that's a stock picks. We can help you with that. And the chat room is for day traders in the mornings, Monday through Friday. If you learn how to hedge your portfolio so you don't get caught with your pants down when they do turn over, highly recommend this course. Could do that yourself. If you like it. Catch you guys later.
It was nice talking to you all. Thanks for letting me sit in today.